Hey guys, time for another core workout, only this one is core off the floor or everything standing. So I want you to grab a towel or something that's a little bit outside shoulder width length and one dumbbell. So we're going to start with the towel. Everything is standing. Let's get started. Little music. I want you to take your feet wider than shoulder apart. We're going to warm up a little bit. You're going to squat, hold that towel in front of you, sweep the arms overhead as you rise. Again, squat and raise overhead as you rise. Now do that a little faster. Squat and lift. So we're looking for a good extension of those arms throughout. As you hinge and lower, I want you to drive your hips back. At the very top of the next one, I want you to pause, bend to your right, squat, lift your arms, bend to your left, squat, lift your arms, bend right. As you're bending, I want you to allow your arms to move past that distance that's equal between your arm and ear. So you're getting a nice lat stretch, kind of an unloaded lat stretch. You can even use the bottom arm to pull the top arm a little bit further. Let's do 4 more, 2 each side. So a lot of things we're going to do are in multi-plane or starting from sagittal, front and back, moving to a little lateral, and then rotational. Go back to your squats, but now I want you to narrow your feet a little bit more, maybe about shoulder to hip width. Raise your right knee, then your left knee. On your next right knee, I want you to hold it, pause, squat, lift your left knee, hold it, pause, squat, lift your right knee, little pause, lift your left knee. The next time on the right, instead of a hold, lunge back for me. Squat, lift your left knee, lunge back. Squat, lift your right knee, lunge back. So the next time that right leg lunges back, we're gonna bend again, but this time starting to your left. So a little lean, or always lean towards your forward foot. So we're getting a little of that side bend, but now in more of a dynamic or a split stance versus that nice stable lateral step like we had in the squat. Let's do 3. As you can tell, I'm getting a little more breathy, so good and warm. Let's do 1 more, and go back to your squat overhead. So those arms and shoulders getting good and open to be able to carry weight. Last 3 straight up the center. Then we're gonna work into a little hay bale, squat low left, high right. As you rotate towards that right side, I want you to elevate your left heel and lead the motion from your hips. Let's go 2 more. 1 more, come back to your center squat sweep. So just introducing a little bit more twist. Squat low right, twist high left. Elevating that right heel as you lead from your hips on that twist. This is 8. So notice I'm not getting a lot of overextension, but there's a nice strong brace as I drive from the hips forward. That's it. Lose the towel. We're gonna go into some loaded movement now. I want you to grab your weight, take your feet back to that nice wide stance, and just slowly squat 2 counts. As you squat, I want you to push the weight out, so you're actually counterbalancing hip and arm load. But as you're pressing out, knit those ribs in so you don't allow yourself to flex or to overextend your lumbar. Do that same thing a little bit faster. Pushing, pulling, reaching, pulling. So it doesn't need to be about the shoulders. I want you to feel how you support yourself through your torso line. 4 more just like this. 3, 2. Now I want you to take the squat low, hold it, and start to punch that weight quickly, front and back. Feel how you have to hold yourself in your hip and lower torso to keep from falling forward or falling back. 7 more counts. 5, 3, go back to your squats, just down and up. A nice wide stance here. I want you to take that weight like we did with the towel, low, and then a high sweep. Only now when you get across the top, I want you to feel as if there's this brace right in through the front line of your body. Maybe you're off tempo and going faster to increase intensity, but there's a lot of this combination of balance of hip extension and that scissoring or that compression coming in and really breathing into that brace. Let's do 4 more counts. 3, 2. Take your feet a little bit wider, then hold the weight overhead. I want you to side bend for me from right to center to left, center. So unlike the towel, when we did that earlier, we talked about moving the arms outside of balance distance from arm to ear. Now I want you to see if you can maintain close to that. So when you bend, it's less of the arms and more of your torso reaching. You have 7, 6, resisting the weight pull down via the side you're twisting or bending from. Now I want you to go ahead and take your feet a little closer. We're gonna keep our spine as straight as possible versus flexing. I want you to keep that weight, but start to press it from side to side. So there's a little bit of twist, but predominantly I want you to keep your weight even between your feet. We're gonna start to bring that weight a little higher, right around chest level. Doesn't need to be a full elbow extension because it's not about the arms. Start to take that weight overhead. Instead of a punch, I want you to tick-tock. So notice I'm trying not to move the torso, but I'm letting the arms move, almost like a hey-ho. Come back to chest level. Resist a twist in excess, and then take it low again. So when we get overhead, I want you to see if you can keep the elbows a little longer or more stable. 4 more here. 1, 2, chest level. 4, 3, overhead swings. Go back to chest level. Let's do 1 more round. Low. Resist the pull to the side. Chest level. Overhead little swings. Resist the pull, come back to chest level. Then I want you to go ahead and make sure you have room behind you. Lunge back with your right foot, lunge back with your left. So what we're doing here is just moving from one exercise to another or circuiting these exercises. As you lunge back, I want you to punch the weight outside the forward knee. So we're already getting a little bit more rotation, almost like what you were just doing in that equal or bilateral stance position. Now as you come center, I want you to press the weight overhead. So the whole time we're trying to keep our weight even between right and left foot and hip. A little tougher is going to be a swing overhead. Without a lot of collapse through that spinal column or excess twisting, knees and toes pointing predominantly forward. Let's do 4 more each. 3 more each. 2 to go. Last time each. Then I want you to take those feet wide again. Like our warm-up, you're gonna bend low to the left, punch across high to the right. I want you to feel as if you're touching a pane of glass that's coming right through your side body. Do that a little faster. Punch, punch. So we're keeping that lever length, kind of a pull through to decrease the intensity of torsion. Hips are still the driver. Like those reverse lunges, you can lengthen the elbow to create more of that torsion or torque I want you to resist from turning the weight behind you or behind you. Let's do 4 more. 1, 2, 1 more, and then center yourself again. Let's do everything on the other side. So you're gonna bend low right, twist high left, do it again slow, hip shift, 1 more time slow. Then take it up to tempo in singles. Punch, punch. So with the weight, we're trying to control that gravitational pull that's wanting to take us over or take us to low inflection by maintaining that core bracing. Option is to sweep or swing. Resist slow, work high. You have 8 more. Last 4. 2. That's it. We're going to put the weight into our right hand. Widen your stance, and I want you to press that weight overhead with your right hand. As you press up, I want you to reach up. Feel long in your torso. Push back with your hips. Reach that left hand to the floor. Look up at the weight. Come all the way back up. Look to the front. Do that again slowly. 4 counts down. Touch the floor. Look back to center. Now do that same thing in 2 counts. Down 2, touch, up 2. Resist with that twist, driving the hips back. We're gonna do 4 more here. So a little single arm windmill. 3, 2, 1 more time. Shift that weight into the left hand. Press it overhead. As you reach up, rotate, reach that right hand to the floor, hinging your hips back, and then rotate back up to the top. So we're kind of finding that rotational balance like we did on the other side. 2 counts down, 2 counts up. Reaching. Notice the difference on one side versus the other. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but this side, I really don't twist well from that mid to low thoracic. And my shoulder has to compensate by actually losing stability. That's it. Go ahead and lose that arm, or lose that dumbbell. Don't lose your arm. So we worked in the sagittal plane with those squat presses. We worked in the frontal plane with some of the side bends. Then we worked into the rotational plane with those hay bales. We're gonna do the same thing with the stretches. So I want you to interlace your fingers, press forward, round your spine into that cat stretch, tuck your chin. Make a nice big C curve, creating a lot of compression and flexion in that front body. Then open it up, take your hands behind your back. Maybe a little arch, a little chin lift, maybe even a lean back. Repeat that rounding forward. And that chest opening, lean back. Let's do that twice more. Round and flex. Extend, press. 1 more time. Round and press. Extend. Then getting a little bit of length in your side body, I want you to cross your left foot over your right. Press your right hip out to the right side, finding that hip shift and that torso bend to the left. Extend your right arm overhead and give me a long reach. If you don't want to use your left hand for support, you can always hold the wrist and gently assist with a little contrast, pull and push of the hip. Then come back to center. Go ahead and switch sides. Right over left. Left hip shift. Left arm comes overhead. Little side bend to your right. And if it feels good and you want a little bit more, aid with that wrist pull of the left side over and the left hip out. did a lot of rotational movements, a lot of hip flexing and extending. So I want you to come to a lunge, a runner's lunge. Let's put that right foot forward. The left hand comes down. Turn your chest towards that right leg and extend that right arm. See if you can find a little tension in your left glutes to drive the hips down and your left heel to drive back. So you're getting a lot of length from the hip down as you're twisting from the torso up. Gently release. We're going to shift, left foot forward, right hand down, hip extension, torso to the left hand comes up. Again, a lot of that right hip gluteal squeeze, right heel driving back. Gently release. Help yourself all the way back to standing. Nice work, you guys. Repeat that circuit 2, maybe even 3 times through. It'll be an awesome workout. Have a great day.